Welcome in. This is Breaking Bet here on this Friday night, January 16th. This is 6 p.m. I got my guy Brad Thomas in here. Brad, this isn't very often that we're doing a Friday night podcast. This is a pretty special occasion. Honestly, the only time I've really done Friday night podcasts started college baseball season, which is right around the corner. But this is a big weekend, NFL divisionals. It was a pretty interesting wild card weekend. But before we get into divisionals, what was your thoughts on the wild card?
Man, all right. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? But I think my biggest takeaway was I put way too much faith in a rookie head coach and a quarterback that had never been to the playoffs. That was, you called it perfectly with that Jacksonville game. And I feel like I didn't go like that heavy, and I had Jacksonville +2, right? Like it wasn't like I was on the right side of the number. That was kind of bad, but we saw a lot of teams that had flaws throughout the season, but they were able to mask them, have their flaws brought to light. Coaches talk about it all the time, right? You can overcome your flaws throughout the season, but if you don't fix them, they're going to get exposed when it matters the most. And I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. That offense was putrid all season. And then in the clutch, when they needed it most, it failed. I was really happy the Texans came through. That was the first bet that I took, the biggest bet that I took. We said Tom was going to get fired, man. He stepped down. Like that team just didn't have the juice anymore. I don't think he probably had the coaching juice. Like he didn't have a stable quarterback for years. It's really hard to go from a Ben Roethlisberger, future Hall of Famer, to kind of guessing where your quarterback play is going to come each week. So it was a fun divisional round. I'm ready. I'm ready for this now. I'm ready for this week. 4 games. Football season's getting shorter and shorter, closer and closer to being the end. So let's make the most of it.
Yeah. I think for me, look, we're all over Buffalo, Jacksonville. I think the handicap for me was spot on. Personally, yeah, I think top to bottom roster-wise, Jacksonville's a better team. But my reason for taking Buffalo was twofold. One, no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar. No excuses for Josh Allen. If he wasn't going to win it this year, then there's serious questions about his ability to lead. I mean, listen, that was a big thing. And I understand that Jacksonville's a good team. They beat who's on their schedule. They showed a lot of improvement from last year. Liam Cohen did a great job. Trevor Lawrence, we saw that sort of, not to the same degree, Brad, but we saw that Baker Mayfield kind of jump. When he first got to Tampa, Liam Cohen really helped turn him around. We started seeing that from Trevor Lawrence to a degree.
Yeah.
And while the Jaguars were a better roster, my thing was, look, this is Josh Allen's chance, but I'm betting on him to be Superman. He's got to make that play. There's a few plays in a game that could be the difference between winning and losing. And Josh Allen is as big of a playmaker in the NFL as we have. He's got to make a play. And he did. Brandon Cooks. I think Josh Allen had Josh Allen bearing down on him. Back foot delivered a dime. Pressure in his face. A fucking cookie drop in the cookie jar for Brandon Cooks with the game on the line. So he delivered, and it was a close game, and it really came down to that. Parker Washington all over it. Free. Brother, my dad called me, he goes, before the game, he goes, what do you like today? I was like, I like Buffalo. He goes, yeah, I like Buffalo too. I'm like, listen, I wouldn't even bet a side. If I were you, I'd throw $100, parlay, Parker Washington 50 yards and a tutty. He goes, what am I, jerk off? You think I'm going to parlay? First of all, parlays are losers. But you think I'm going to parlay a player prop? I was like, yeah, he's going to have a big game. That was my big take last week, was Parker Washington was going to eat. He didn't prove me wrong.
Dude.
And then guess what? He ended up taking the anytime touchdown. Calls me like 5 minutes into the game. The first half I was outside in the pool, like first that really nice Sunday we had down here in SoFlo. So I first time in months that I really got out there at the pool. And like I'm in the pool and I saw Parker Washington goes in the tent for concussion evaluation.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This guy of yours, he's out of the game. When he got concussion, I was like, oh yeah, he's in a concussion evaluation. It's like, bro, it's like 7 minutes into the game. So he's done. He's done. It's the last time I listened to him. I'm like, guys go to concussion evaluation all the time. They come back, goes, oh, yeah, it's over. And then meanwhile, like in whatever he scored, the third or the fourth quarter, I was like, yeah, don't ever question me again. But Parker Washington was big. San Francisco, brother, it was always the Royal Mint. Does the Royal Mint ever fail?
Royal Mint did not disappoint.
Betting gift to the world. And then you're going to get some asshole who's going to pawn it off and be like, oh, yeah, take 5. No. Johnny V is the original 5.5 Royal Mint king. I created the Royal Mint. It's feeding families for generational wealth. The Royal Mint never fails. It does fail, but it's 60% hit. So Ush bet, huh? It's fucking free. Niners, big one for us here. The Pats Chargers, brother, like, look, game went exactly how we thought it was. Yeah. It was sad. Like, I hated saying it, but it was sad. The Chargers just, they don't have it, man. Justin Herbert, I love him to death, and I understand the line was battered, and that was a huge problem, but, brother, they didn't score a touchdown. They could have scored 17 points and won. I mean, come on. New England scored 16 points. The Chargers scored 3. Not even a touchdown. Embarrassing. But honestly, divisional round was pretty solid. I didn't really watch much of the Texans, Patriots, or Steelers. But a lot's happening. Divisional round should be pretty good. The teams that I wanted to get through with San Francisco and Buffalo ultimately did. And we have ourselves a really interesting final 8 teams left. The Elite 8 is in. And we start with Buffalo at Denver. Josh Allen, Bo Nix. Brad, I got news for you, buddy.
Hit me.
The Denver Broncos are a team that we've been talking about for a while. Like you, bro, preseason, I had Denver to win the division. Did I not?
Yeah.
I like Denver because I thought their defense is going to be really good again, which it has. But I think it's fair to say this defense is not elite. It's not to the level they were last year. It's good, but it's not elite. Their offense, I don't believe it. I think their offense has gotten away with a lot. Sort of like, I don't want to put them in that conversation because I don't think it's been that bad, but they have a little bit of Seattle to them.
Yeah.
Like when they want to play, hey, it's good. It can be really good. But they have these too often lulls where they just do nothing and they just coast. No good. That is poison when you get to the playoffs. You cannot do that. You could coast in the regular season, but a lot of people, like with Seattle, haven't noticed this because they've been winning. You cannot go out there and put up 3 points in the first half and expect, hey, we're going to turn it on in the second. Our defense is going to do this, that, and the third. It doesn't happen like that. The Denver Broncos offense has continuously demonstrated a lack of ability to consistently and effectively execute.
Yep.
This is not what they've done. And I think it's a problem. And I like Denver. I like Bo Nix. But same sort of thing against Jacksonville. What is the big difference between Jacksonville and Denver? Aside from the fact that Sean Payton's a more experienced head coach, which matters.
Yep.
But roster-wise, is there a big difference between Denver and Jacksonville?
No, I don't think there's a big difference. Both have their, I want to say, like, elite qualities in defending, right? Like Jacksonville's pass defense really good. Denver's pass defense really good, and the Jaguars' run defense really good. But they've had games where teams have been able to kind of exploit them. So, like, I would say really good, not all the way elite, like probably some people are guessing. I'm excited for this game because there have just been so many times where it feels like Sean Payton is making football hard for Bo Nix. And that could be a case of Bo Nix just like not fully grasping it, not all the way having it. Or it could be a case of Sean Payton just doesn't make life easy on his quarterback. The Bills have surprisingly this season had a really elite pass defense. And it's masked, or people forget about it because how bad their run defense is. Watching Jacksonville play against that pass defense, that was like it for me. That's where I was like, okay, I made a lot of excuses, dude. A lot of excuses for the quarterbacks that the Bills played, right? Like they played some really, really bad. Brady Cook, Tyrod Taylor, and the list goes on. Spencer Rattler in the beginning of the season. I thought that's why their numbers were so good. But it's a strong, strong defense. And I'm going to be interested to see if Denver can effectively run the ball more than just 25 times. They need to run the ball. I think they need to go 60-40 in this game and run it well, because I still like the experience of the Bills over the Broncos.
I agree. I think I have the same, and it's funny because the line is the same. 1.5. The line is the same. I think it matches up pretty much from what we saw last week. To me, this is a Buffalo spot. Josh Allen makes a difference like he did last week. One more play. He's Superman. He plays Superman one more time. I just think that this is the opportunity that he's been waiting for.
Yeah.
Nobody in the AFC is really that strong. It's just a fact. I think this Denver defense is beatable, dude. I think it's good, but I think it's beatable. I think James Cook is going to have an opportunity this week to get a little bit more room for success than he did last week. I mean, granted, Denver is the second best team against the run, but I still feel like there's a better opportunity. But one thing to look out for, like Denver's defense has been a lot better against running backs out of the backfield than Jacksonville was. Like Jacksonville was beatable against the linebackers and the safeties and for running backs in the pass game. But nevertheless, I think the Bills find a way, man. I think Josh Allen finds a way. That's really all it comes down to. I don't really love a ton of props. This is a matchup with a lot of ancillary guys where like, hey, you might get this guy that pops for a big play. Like Tyrell Shavers towards ACL and kept playing.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Horrible.
Crazy. I think there could be some Brandon Cooks opportunities again. Like maybe he gets in the end zone.
I think Brandon Cooks has a big game. Like I think he just has no other choice.
I think that's probably the only guy that I'd really be looking at. But I think this is just a straight game. It's a tough game for props.
Mm-hmm. Very tough.
Interestingly enough, you could do hypothetical conference championship matchups. As of right now, the Bills would be a 1.5-point dog at New England. The Patriots would be a 1.5-point dog at Denver. The Bills would be a 1.5-point favorite at Houston. And the Texans would be a 1.5-point dog at Denver. So what does that tell you about the AFC in general? They're telling you it's pretty much even. It's a coin flip for the most part. You basically have every single game is hypothetical coin flip. Bizarre.
It's crazy. What do you think of the total? Total's at 46.5. 46.5.
Probably leaning under.
Yeah, I lean under, right?
Slightly.
I'm
not playing the total in this game. I think it.
I've seen Bills games
just be curious for some props with the quarterbacks running.
I like Bo Nix rushing over, but it's already really high at 22.
Like I'm not running to the window to bet many props in this game, but I think, but I could definitely see something along the lines of both quarterbacks run for 35 plus yards.
You know what a fun bet is? I'm gonna look this up. I didn't look it up because I was just thinking about it. The Jacksonville Jaguars had a lot of success running the ball, and they kind of just stopped. And I genuinely believe that the Denver Broncos are going to be continuously running the ball as well. Wonder what the Broncos team run total. Do they have it up yet? Nope. They don't. I hate when they do that, man. They're not going to have it up early enough. They probably won't have it up for a couple days. That's stupid. Okay.
Sorry.
Dang. FanDuel Lake is like the only book that posts it too, and they don't even have it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at something real quick. Okay, we'll start looking at Super Bowl MVPs in a bit. It caught my eye. It's moved a bit, obviously. All right, the night game for tomorrow is going to be San Fran at Seattle. It's the 3 match. This is a big one. 7 points, dude. I think there was a 7.5 earlier in the week. It's come down. No George Kittle. Unfortunately, tore his Achilles. That's brutal. Am I bugging? Or is this just disrespectful of a line? Like
The 49ers, yeah.
Here's what I think happens, just kind of based on what I've seen from Seattle this year, especially in this spot where they're like a home 6.5, home 7 favorite. And based off what this matchup's going to be, I think Seattle either blows out San Francisco or they lose outright.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. And I know there's a thought process to this. People who saw San Francisco just get dominated a couple weeks ago at home for the 1 seed on the line. The thought process I can see is what's changed except they lost George Kittle. A lot of people are like, well, Seattle went to San Francisco and just pushed them around. Now they're home in the playoffs. They've had a week off. Like, I think there's a thought process to this where people are going to view it this way. And it's 7 points. I think this could be them begging you to take San Francisco. Definitely could see that. But at some point, it's like the big difference between those two games is Trent Williams is back.
Yeah.
Trent Williams plays that game in week 18. Probably have a different result. Brad, is 7 points too many here?
Dude, it feels like a lot. And I don't know if I'm confident enough to take the 7 with San Francisco, but I will mention this. Sam Darnold popping up on the injury report people might think it's insignificant. The fact that he popped on the injury report, limited practice, doesn't practice, whatever, it scares me that like he takes 1 sack and that oblique tightens up and it's a whole different game. And then 7 points becomes a lot. I also think that with the Seahawks, they're not going to be throwing the ball all over the field. I think the Seahawks are going to run the ball a ton in this game. And that makes me lean closer towards the under. And when that happens, I want as many points as I can get for the underdog. But let's not kid ourselves. That 49ers team, they gritted their way out to a win. The Eagles had ample opportunity to put that game away, and they couldn't get it done. So I think 7's too many. I wouldn't take it. I'd probably maybe under a touchdown. You can convince me, but I think this goes the other direction. It started to get to 7.5, came back down after the Sam Darnold news. I think it actually goes back up to 7.5 before kickoff, and then you're way outside of the touchdown, right? That extra half a point is something that I don't even want to deal with. I'm afraid to think that it feels too easy to take -7 and just like you said, I'm taking -7 here because they just whooped their ass, right? Like that's what the books want you to do. It feels like, right? Am I reading too much into that thing? 7's nothing. They just whooped their ass. Now they're playing at home. I think if I lay the -7, it's just me not being a smart bettor. I think I'm just overreacting.
Yeah, I think this is a San Francisco spot all the way. I think San Francisco's going to win outright. I'm going to say that. I think San Fran's going to win outright. Here's what it comes down to for me. I understand the 49ers are hobbled. They are just so banged up. And they lost George Kittle, who's not just one of their best players, but just their emotional leader. This 49ers team has been in do or die mode for months. This is their 2025 season. This isn't new to them.
Yeah.
They've had the next man up. That's just what they've been doing. They've been accustomed to having to play without some of their best players all year. Mac Jones, he's had to come in. Trent Williams didn't play week 18. They had to find somebody else. Kittle's missed a ton of time. Jake Tonjes, your turn. Ricky Pearsall hasn't played. Juwan Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, fucking Demarcus Robinson. You guys are up. All these guys on defense. Like, this is what they've been doing. First of all, it's a divisional game. 7 points in a divisional playoff game is too much. That's ridiculous. And secondly, and this is important, I give a lot of shit to Kyle Shanahan. I'll never forgive him for taking away a Super Bowl from my Falcons. I'll never forgive him.
Yeah.
But I can't deny that there's not many guys I'd rather have coaching my team than Kyle Shanahan in terms of just an overall intellect. I like Mike McDonald a lot, but I'm gonna tell you something. There's 3 things. I've been talking about this for probably a month now. There's 3 things I don't like about Seattle. And Brad, you know from preseason, the Seahawks were my team to win the NFC West preseason, 5-1. I said they were going to be very good this year. They're being slept on. I like them a lot. So this isn't because I don't like Seattle. I really do. I like their team a lot. Like, this is just from my pure observations. Number 1, the Seattle Seahawks, they do not play consistently good enough in the first half. I know people are going to be like, well, they've got 530 beans in the first half this year, but look at what they've been doing lately. There's too many games where we're going to put up 3 points against Carolina and tie in the first half and 7 points. No, they're just consistently not playing good enough. Number 2, they do not throw the ball to JSN enough. I know you're going to be like, well, he's 8 to 9 catches every week. Yeah, but what about those games where like Puka or Jamar Chase, they have 15 to 16, 17 targets? You don't get that from JSN. And I understand it's different offenses. Seattle's more balanced, and that's fine. But like, there's times where it's like, JSN, let's lock in. Let's get him the ball. They don't do that enough. Number 3, and this is so underrated and so important. And like, if you watch the game against San Francisco in week 18, you'll see what I'm talking about. Seattle does not go for it on 4th downs.
Yeah.
I like Mike McDonald. I think he's a great coach, but I think, to be honest, I think he's a bit of a puss when it comes to 4th downs. And you can't play scared like that. And you saw it in week 18 against San Francisco. They went for it a lot on 4th down, and they weren't getting it. And I think the fact is, when you're not accustomed to going for it on 4th down, you don't have experience throughout the year in knowing what works and what doesn't work. And I think that's going to end up being an issue where like they're playing scared or they're tight in fourth downs because they're not comfortable because they haven't done it enough. I think that's an issue. And of course, last but not least, let's call it what it is. I don't trust Sam Darnold in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's coming. The Sam Darnold meltdown.
Their defense is fantastic. I love their defense. I love JSN. I was all over the breakout this year. Sharps, Kenny Walker. I like this Seattle team a lot, but 7 points at home is ridiculous. I need Darnold to prove it to me as well before I'm starting to back him. I just think San Francisco has been playing playoff football mode for the last 6 weeks. Do or die. It just grit. They're getting 7 on the road. They have in my opinion, the better coach. They've been here before. I think the Niners aren't going to just cover it. I think they're going to win outright, man. But I take this, obviously, the 7 with San Francisco. So give me the 49ers. Listen, if Seattle wins, if Seattle blows them out, good for them. God bless. I'm not mad at it. I like Seattle. I love JSN. I mean, they deserve it. They've had a great year. But I just think if my neutral handicap, it's going to be the 49ers, man. I think a lot of people are going to be buying on Seattle because they just kicked the shit out of them a few weeks ago. And that's the last thing they had in their head. Now that Trent Williams is back, which is a night and day difference maker, I think it's going to change some things. And it's the playoffs. Those couple weeks are going to make a big difference because of the stakes. Brad, give me San Francisco, brother.
Okay. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm not going to bet a side in this game. I'm okay with that. I think props. This is a good props game. It's a really good props game.
This is a good props game, man. I think this is a very good props game as well. Do you have anything that you're looking at right away, like JSN perhaps?
I took Jake Tonjes. Took Jake Tonjes over receiving yards. Got at 32.5. I think it's good to 36.5. He's gone over in 4 straight games without George Kittle. If you remember the first 2 games that he didn't go over, so he's 4 for 6. The first 2 games he didn't go over, that was with Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is a different kind of quarterback, right? Mac Jones heavily relies on Christian McCaffrey, those checkdowns, where Brock Purdy doesn't check down as much. A lot of that has to do with the time to throw and being able to get to that second read. So I thought it was a pretty good number at 32.5 up to 36.5. You can still find 35.5 out in the market.
This is props galore. JSN, like I've done so much this year, over catches, fucking rinse and repeat, 6.5. A little Jackson Smith and Jigba magic once again. The catches are good. And you know what I love about this matchup here, Brad? Do you want to take a guess?
What?
Are you aware of the 2 teams that are the worst in the NFL against running backs in the pass game?
No.
San Francisco and Seattle. They are 1 and 2 in allowing the most receptions to running backs this year. So, I'm going to be targeting Christian McCaffrey big time in the receiving game. There's going to be an opportunity for us to ladder up some of these receptions and the receiving yards. I think this is going to be a big game for McCaffrey. And the books know it too. I mean,
yep.
You pick 7 catches, it's minus 125. That's absurd. If you want to take McCaffrey 7 catches, that's minus 125.
That's sickening.
That's sickening. But that's what it is. So I think there's a good opportunity for McCaffrey to have a big game in the receiving, especially without George Kittle. I think if Brock Purdy's pressured a lot, there's going to be a lot of these dump offs. And I know we didn't really see that last time, but I think this is going to be a different game plan. Definitely think there's a ladder opportunity for McCaffrey in the catch department. JSN catches. Zach Charbonnet, brother, anytime Tud. Really like that anytime Tud for Charbs in charge.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a good same game parlay. This is going to be like the Rams Seahawks same game parlay action.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy anytime touchdown 550.
Dude, they've been running those clear out routes from for Brock Purdy to just run underneath them. I'm tempted to take his rushing yards. Like they've done that at least 3 times last game where they just cleared out the wide receivers and Brock Purdy had 0 intention of throwing the ball. He just ran it.
Buddy. All right, let's talk about this. Kyle Juszczyk plus 750 to score. Luke Farrell 10-1. Kendrick Bourne 10-1. Brian Robinson 12-1. I got news for you. I like Kendrick Bourne at 10-1. Demarcus Robinson, 490 to get in the end zone. Come on, man. Are you kidding? Look at these guys. Like, seriously, you could like.
I feel like you just got to bet Jeff Tonjes to score.
Tonjes at almost 3-1.
Wow.
I mean, come on, look at that. You parlay Charbonnet and Tonjes. It's pretty good. Yeah, there's some appetizing bets here, man. I think Tonjes is a good bet to score. That's very, very solid. See how Seattle was this year against the Titans. They were middle of the road. Nobody was as bad as Cincinnati, but, give up a touchdown. All right, so before we get into the Sundays here, let's talk about this real quick. It's the middle of January. My time's almost coming up. College baseball, the 2026 season is nearly upon us. Join that Discord, man. VIP Discord for the entire regular and postseason. Go to dubclub.win/_JohnnyVTV / You get the Discord, you get all the picks unlimited. My guy Brad Thomas is in this year, are you not?
I am, baby.
There's a wagon this year. Would have an unbelievable success, guys. Lock into the VIP Discord. Come win with us, man. Come win with it. I'm looking forward to having everybody join this year. It's going to be a big season for the team. What's up, guys? Make sure you're locking in. All right, Houston Texans at the New England Patriots, a flat 3. Brad, I'll let you start this one off.
I am a non-believer in this Houston Texans team. That was my biggest bet, and dude, that team sucks. If they didn't have a good defense, I don't know what the heck I'd be looking at. Now this Houston Texans team, who's done it before, are going to have to be playing without Nico Collins, who's going to be out of this game, playing on the road. The Texas defense is so legit, though. They get pressure on the quarterback, but they also played against a lifeless body in that Steelers offense. I think that the Patriots can match up toe-to-toe defensively and make life hard for C.J. Stroud. If C.J. Stroud goes in there and he's fumbling snaps, he's throwing errant passes, the Patriots are going to take over. So I like the Patriots -3. I think this is another line that's going to move before kick. I have a hard time really knowing what I'm going to get out of the Patriots offensively week in and week out. It's an offense that still ranks really high in EPA per pass, offensive success rate, third down conversion, explosive play rate. But it feels like their running game has kind of taken a hit. And I think the running game for the Patriots was kind of masked with big explosions kind of early in the season, right? They'd have explosive runs, which masked their, I don't want to say they're inefficient, but their lack of efficiency for at least contenders on a down-to-down basis. And if you're not going to run the ball well against the Texans, you're going to be in for a lot of trouble. But I do like the Patriots -3.
I agree. Same thing as last week. Listen, I mean, every week we're talking the same shit. Texans defense is legit, man. I'm not even talking about just metrics, just off eye test and yeah, look, stats fine, but like I know there's advanced metrics that some of the nerds like, but I think it's fair to say the best 2 defenses this year, Houston and Seattle.
Yeah.
This Texans defense is so good. They don't just jump off the page with their metrics and their stats, but just eye test. They play fast. They play physical. They don't miss tackles. They attack the ball carrier. Like they don't let you get yards after the catch. It's insane. But at some point, man, the offense is just got to deliver. I think this is, and let's call it what it is. Remember last year when Houston went to Arrowhead? That was a tight game. Does a game Tank Dell tore his ACL? Like, that was a close game. The Chiefs really had to grind that one out. I think it's going to be a similar sort of situation. I just don't know if – and now with no Nico Collins, like, come on, man, no Nico. I just think it's just too big of a task for the Houston offense. I think New England's going to – I mean, they're getting a generational Mickey Mouse path to the Super Bowl right now. They really are. They're going to, like, let's call it what it is. They're getting a generational easy path to at least the AFC Championship game. They beat one team that made the playoffs or had a winning record in 2025 regular season. And then they had probably the easiest path to the AFC Championship game. It's generational Mickey Mouse, like back in the Tom Brady days. But I think they win, man. I
think so too.
I just think they're more efficient. I think they have more ways to win. Like, what happens if the Texans defense has a subpar day? And the subpar day for them is letting up 21 points. That's a subpar day for them. I just think – I don't know if New England really is that good. I just think they're more consistent. They have a little bit more versatility. They're at home. Houston's without their best player on offense. But that's a tough one for me, man. I think New England. I think New England wins and covers. I'd be betting on the Pats. All right, last but not least, the Rams and the Bears. Buddy, Rams are 3.5-point favorites at the Bears.
Oh, bro.
I think I'm crazy, but I think the Rams win this game, but I think Chicago's going to cover.
I think Chicago covers too.
I think Chicago's going to cover this game.
Like how can they not, right? Like the Rams defense has struggled so bad, struggled so freaking much. And we don't want to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. It's been like the last 6 weeks. And now you're talking about a Bears team playing at home with a ton of confidence. I think 3.5 is a lot for a road game.
You know what? It's a little bizarre because before Quentin Lake got hurt earlier in the year, you'd have to look up the metrics. But
yeah,
before the Quentin Lake injury, that Rams defense was looking really dangerous. Like top tier dangerous, where we're talking about the Rams like, hey, this is a team that's really going to make some noise. He missed, I don't know what he missed, like 6 weeks. He got hurt in the middle of November against that Seattle game. I'm looking at it now. He played 11-2 against New Orleans, 11-9 against San Fran, and then 11-16 against Seattle. And then he missed the rest of the way, and he just returned last week against Carolina. But I think prior to his injury, that Rams defense was pretty good. And then once he got hurt, then things started unraveling for them. But I agree, man. I think this Rams defense is like lost a little bit of its luster.
Yeah, man.
And now they're relying on Stafford and the offense to have to score 30 points a game for them to win. And like, look, Chicago defense is beatable. This isn't like some special defense, but they got some guys that can make plays. I think ultimately it's going to be a game where Stafford makes a play at the end. That's really what it comes down to. I think.
Yep.
I don't think the Bears are that good, but I think they have enough juice. They have enough balls in order to keep this one close. But at the end of the day, I think the Rams are going to win, probably on a late field goal. But I think the Bears are going to cover this spot. I don't think they'll go down quietly. I'm excited to see this game. I think it's a great matchup. But I have the Rams advancing ultimately.
I get afraid of like Rams late touchdown because that's the kind of heroics that it feels like, right? It feels like one of those where I lose the cover on like a last minute touchdown drive by the Rams. But I like the Bears plus 3.5, man. I think I have to take that.
What about, I'm curious, I want to see this. I was on the Colson Loveland Monster Week. Yeah, I like Colson Loveland this week. I think he's probably going to have an opportunity to have another big game. What about Puka? I mean, the Puka props are always so high. 7.5 catches, 97.5 yards. Like, are we taking anything Puka related or Rams team total over? Yeah, Uncle Baby Billy never fails.
Hey, listen, the Rams can still hit their team total over. Can absolutely hit their team total over and still give up 25, 27 points and not cover.
We think Puka's going to dry hump this secondary? Or is Jalen Johnson going to be?
Yeah. I think he does. I think Puka has a really big game.
I mean, it's definitely been a tough season for this team here. Or this defense, I should say. But yeah, look, man, I think the Rams are going to deliver. I think Matthew Stafford's going to have a big game. Puka, and company. I need a little bit more time on the props here, but I like what the Rams have. Now, let's talk look ahead here, right? We both have going to the conference championship game, the Rams, right?
Yep.
Do you have the Niners or the Seahawks?
Seahawks win, Niners cover.
Oh, you think the Seahawks are going to win?
Yeah, I just think the Niners cover.
Okay, I have the 49ers winning. Do you have the Rams making it to the Super Bowl?
No.
You think the Seahawks are going to make the Super Bowl?
I think the Seahawks make the Super Bowl if yes.
Really?
I do.
Why?
Because their offense is good enough, right? Like they defend so well where I think the problem with Minnesota, and I'm going back to Darnold, was he had a lot on his shoulders, right? Like he had so much on his shoulders. Now, when you think about the ability to run the ball effectively with two really comparable backs and a defense that can really hold you down and a good offensive line, it makes things so much easier. That Minnesota offensive line really, really fell apart at the end of the year last year.
I think the only way the Seahawks make the Super Bowl is if Chicago upsets the Rams. Because I don't have Chicago beating the Seahawks. That's the only way I see Seattle making it.
Yeah, I think the Bears are live to upset the Rams. The Rams have been freaking playing with fire, bro, 4 weeks in a row. They got burned by Atlanta for it.
Yep. Yeah, look, man, I do agree 100%. It's just it's hard because at the end of the day, they have Stafford. It's the only guy that's won a ring that's remaining in this playoff pool. So I'm with you, man. I am, but I have Rams Niners for like this 5th or 6th playoff matchup between McVay and Shanahan, and what, the 2nd or 3rd NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I think it sets up as LA San Francisco with San Fran getting revenge. I got to be honest, man. I think San Fran's live to get back here. But like, look, I don't have a problem with Seattle or the Rams or even the like. I don't think I'm seeing the Bears here, but I think one of the NFC West teams is going to represent here, and I think it's going to be the winner of San Francisco and LA. That's what I'm saying. But yeah. AFC side, we both have Buffalo, and we both have New England. So that being said, you think it'd be the Bills or the Patriots that goes?
I think the Bills. I want to say Patriots, but I think the Bills want this get back. Like the Bills have the experience. The Patriots won the division, right? Like we have to remember that. And that's pretty much all they're thinking about, you know? Who do you think? Patriots or Bills?
Bills. I think it would ultimately just destroy Josh Allen if he lost to the Patriots with the trip to the Super Bowl on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's call it what it is. Houston's no layup for New England, but I think I'd probably rather face the Texans at home than go on the road to Denver. But I have Buffalo winning the AFC and going to the Super Bowl. I just think both Josh Allen and Sean McDermott know. And honestly, the whole team be like, this is our year. This is our chance. There's no Mahomes. There's no Lamar. There's no Burrow standing in my way.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Bo Nix, fucking CJ Stroud, Drake May. Like, these little motherfuckers got to wait their turn. I've been struggling out here since 2018, waiting to get to this spot. I've been in the league almost 10 years. I haven't been in this position. Like, no, I think they understand, like, Josh Allen needs it. This could be his last chance, bro. Kids, I mean, what is he? He's going to be pushing 30. Like, especially with Josh Allen's style of play, man. Like, Josh Allen is 29, bro. Josh Allen's going to be 30 next season. Or he's going to be 30 this year.
I thought he was 30.
Well, he's 29. He's going to be 30. He's going to be 30 in May. Like, especially with his style of play, dude. You know, I mean, how many more How many more elite years does he have left? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 3, 4?
Especially the way he plays.
That's what I'm saying. Like he plays physical. A lot of those hits, like everybody said, well, he's a big dude. He could take those hits. Yeah, but we said the same thing about Cam Newton. And once Cam Newton stopped his prime ended, like he fell off a cliff.
Yeah. Fast. Hard.
Quick. It happened quick. There's no difference physicality-wise between Josh Allen and Cam Newton from a perspective of once those hits take their toll, that's it. I mean, Allen's a better passer than Cam Newton ever was, but it doesn't matter. The point is, this is the best time that Josh Allen will ever have to win, or at least even go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Maybe Brandon Cooks. We like Cooks this week. But yeah,
Brandon Cooks is going to get a ton of yards.
But I don't know, man. I think at the end of the day, for me, it's going to be Bills Niners. That'd be great though. So I have a couple parlays with college baseball teams. Like I have one for, and I gave it to you guys last week. Like the one non-Discord play is Florida Gators.
Yeah,
40-1 to win the College World Series. So I took that straight. I think this is a wrong price. It should be like 25-1. But I parlayed maybe before the Bills played the Jags. That was wild card, but it was before the playoffs for sure. I parlayed Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP, 12-1, and the Gators to win the Natty. And then I have San Francisco parlayed with a different college baseball team. But, I think it's pretty interesting. So any parlays are we cooking this week, buddy?
bro, I didn't cook anything.
Well, if we went straight teams, right? The teams we like. Bills money line, Niners +7, Pats -3, Rams money line, just under 10-1.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. $50. But something a little bit more interesting. Like one of the things that a lot of people will tell you, Super Bowl odds they're not always great or bettable. So the way to really create some equity is Super Bowl MVP. And Brad, I think in a certain situation, like for instance, you could take, instead of taking the Buffalo Bills 6-1 to win the Super Bowl, like Josh Allen +750 for Super Bowl MVP is a good bet. Because if the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, chances are Josh Allen's going to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. But anything along the lines that you'd be liking to bet for MVPs?
God, man. It's tough, right? Because I don't know who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. This feels like the most wide open year for someone to win, right? Man, why don't I just complete the crazy Patriots love story and go Drake May, right?
7-1.
Yeah.
At odds, there's two guys I'd bet right now. I liked Puka before the Panthers game at 27-1. I think Puka at 20-1 right now is one of the best bets you can have on the board because unlike Matthew Stafford, when they won the Super Bowl, Cooper Kupp won.
Yeah.
Puka could be the same thing. Like obviously Stafford is a great bet to win the Super Bowl MVP, but if Puka goes 7 for 100 and a touchdown, and Stafford's otherwise not really that impressive in the Super Bowl, if they made it, Puka Nacua for my money is one of the best Super Bowl bets you can make right now. 20-1. I'd probably say he should be more along the lines of like 12-1. And I think honestly, Brock Purdy's 27-1 for Super Bowl MVP. If they made the Super Bowl, which I think they have a pretty goddamn good shot to do, I think the only people that would win the MVP for San Francisco would be Brock Purdy and McCaffrey. And by some miracle, if he made it back, it would be set up for Fred Warner to come back and just steal it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Is Fred Warner even? Yeah, Fred Warner is 750 to 1 for anybody that was wondering. But I think those are actually pretty good bets. Brock Purdy, in my opinion, is the guy. Favors quarterbacks, but I don't know. Just something of note. But in any case, really appreciate everybody's time. And thank you for tuning in. Brad, you are the best. Thank you for all your insights and wisdom, brother.
Thanks, dude.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you back here later in the week.